friends, welcome to Cindy's Corner. Hey, we've got a patriotic holiday coming right around the corner, and I'm going to make myself a flower crown to help celebrate this special occasion. So I am going to make something that I can actually put around a hat, or I can just put it on my head like this. So I started off with a blue star garland. Now, all you need to make something that goes around your hat is a ring, something that will fit your head, that also will fit the hat. So that's what I'm starting with. Now, later you could take more of this and put it around the base if you like or not. Okay, so we're going to put that to the side. So this is what we're going to be working off of. Now, all the things I have here, the florals and ribbons, I got at the Dollar Tree. So if you go over there, you can find lots of red, white, and blue things. And even this year, they had this one where it's got the flowers with stripes and stars on it, which I think are really cute. So these come in what they call a bunch or a bundle, and they all have these little tags on them. So you definitely want to take your scissors and get rid of those tags right away. Sometimes it's easier and sometimes it's harder, so you'll just have to play around with that. And also, a lot of this stuff, even if you can't get it off, this will probably be hidden by other flowers. Okay, like this one, it didn't quite come off all the way. So the first thing I do with these is I separate the spokes of the flowers, or the stems of the flowers, so I can get at them. Now, let me just real quickly do a little talk about what kind of tools I have here. So, of course, I have some scissors. I also have an X-Acto knife if I need something different than that. Scissors. I also have, these are needle nose pliers, but this part of the plier right here is actually a wire cutter. Okay, so all of these stems are wired, so we need a wire cutter to cut them. I would hate to recommend using a pair of scissors because it'll probably ruin the scissors. Okay, so I've also got some paddle wire. This is green floral wire. And I've also got some pipe cleaners that I had cut down to smaller sizes, and we'll see what all we need. You may not even need to use any of these because these are all wired, so you may be able to use the stems. Now, this time, something I got that I hadn't purchased before was these zip ties, cable ties at the Dollar Tree in different sizes and colors. So this might be something that might work for me. We'll see if that works or doesn't. I mean, it's either something, you need something to fasten the flowers to each other so they're stabilized. So whether it's wire, pipe cleaner, cable ties, you just have to figure out what works best for you. Okay, another thing they had at the Dollar Tree that I thought was really cute were these spiky things, tinsel things, and they have them in red, white, and blue. And what I discovered, because this is like a really big thing to put on your head, I discovered that I could reach inside and pull them apart. Okay, and then we're gonna talk about how we deal with that in a second. So first, let me just deal with the flowers. So we're just gonna take our wire cutters and we're going to cut each stem at the base. Now, I usually cut at the base just so I have a lot of stuff to work with. You can always trim things down if you find that these stems are too long. So that's great. Now, let's kind of see. So I divide them into the different colors. So here's the blue bunch. Okay, and you see here how I have some red, white, and blue solid colors. And what I like is like these are like poppies. The white one has a red glittery center, so that's really cute. So I'm going to put these over here, and here's the red ones with the stripes, and they have some red glittery inside. Okay. Now, I usually try to get some different options for myself because once you start building it, you may find that, I mean, this is probably too much for what I'm going to need, but I'll be able to make myself a flower crown to wear over my hat, and I'm also going to try making a fascinator that I just attached to a headband, and I'll do that in an upcoming video. So giving yourself lots of options helps you build. Okay, so besides these regular size flowers, Dollar Tree had these smaller flowers, which also makes a really nice arrangement for your crown. Having everything the same size is not as interesting as having a variety of textures and colors and all of that. Also, I have some ribbons that I had used for another project. I'm really bad at tying bows, so if you fall into that bracket, then you can do what I did. I just cut pieces that I made into loops, and I used pipe cleaners to wire it together, and then I just stick them here and there, and it looks really fun. Okay, so let's come back to these sparkly glitter things. I really like the way this looks. So what I did is on these other ones is I spread them out, and then I took my X-Acto knife, and right here at the base, this is all what they call floral tape. So this is made out of paper, and I just kind of made little scrapes along here, and I was able to peel that paper away, and I ended up with 3 stems. Plus, I ended up with a little piece that they wrapped around the base. So these larger stems, this may be something that I feel would work for my fascinator, because I can kind of build it out that way, you know. But, or just a floral arrangement at my house. But these little pieces, I think this little piece will be great for the flower crown, just to have some extra color here and there, another texture. Okay, so I'm going to kind of move some of these things over so that we can start building our crown. Okay, so I always start with the florals first, and then we start with adding stuff to that. Okay, so let me move some of the stuff out of the way. Okay, so we definitely want our red, white, and blue stuff. It's always visually nice to have groups of 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 3, and I'm just going to kind of twist the wires together, the stems together, and then we're going to start adding them to our ringlet. Okay, now again, depending on how you want to do it, you can use a paddle wire, which I'm used to using. You can use the paper clips, pipe cleaners, and then, actually I have not used these zip ties before, so this is something I definitely want to try, because I think that might be really quick. I'm going to take get these white ones out. Okay, so these come in a bundle. Okay, so zip ties, they have a little pointy end and they have a little hole, and you just stick them through the hole. Maybe you gotta go this way. Yeah, right, this way. This way. You know, I have not used this brand before. There it is, I see the hole now. Come on, go in there. There we go. So that you make it into like a little loop. Okay, so we're going to wrap that. Let's give this a try. So we're going to wrap that around our little bundle, and then we're going to zip tie that to our circlet. Okay, are you going in there? Come on. This is definitely a little more challenging than I thought they were going to be, but I have a feeling that they will be really, okay, so there we go, that is going to be really stable. Okay, and now also, you know, once you get these on here, you can bend them different directions to suit what you're looking for. Okay, so for this is kind of like building a wreath. You're just going to go around in a circle, and then you're going to kind of build up. Okay, so now I'm going to add a blue one, maybe this white one, and a red one. So I got like a little tiny bundle of flowers here. And then I'm going to add them. Here's my little zip tie to my crown. Let's see if I can feed the little zip tie into here. And also you're gonna bend the wires as you go too. Okay, where'd my little zip tie go? Okay, here we go. Well, I definitely think that the zip ties are very strong and stable. I see I'm going to have to use a little bit more of them here and there to kind of hold this together, which is fine. And I also see that this was it's a little more, the hardest part with this zip tie is just finding the little hole to stick it in. There we go. Okay, and then of course you're going to trim these edges off. So I'm going to start doing that now. So that you're just going to take your scissors and cut those. Okay. All right. So we're starting to get this together. Okay. And now let's bring in some of the smaller ones too. Okay. So I'm probably going to end up using a combination of the zip ties and the pipe cleaners. This is what I'm used to using, so I think that'll be good to have a little bit of both. Okay, and then I'm already starting to position these a little bit, and I'm going to get one of these silver ones. Now there's a couple, actually, now that I think about it, there's a couple different ways to do this directionally. You can build it so that they're all going just around. You could start with like a center focus piece and build from each side. So that's also an option. Let me bend this some more because we want it to be going around the hat. Okay. Also, so this is one of those things where you get to fiddle and play around with it, move it around the way that you like it. So here's how it is at this point. It's quite big, and that's great. We like that. Now another thing to remember to keep winding your stems around each other. I'm going to need another one of these. Keep this in place. And for right now, I'm not tying my pipe cleaners all the way because I want to be able to add stems on top of this if I want. Okay, so let's see now. Let's come back around with let's get a red flower and the blue stars. Okay, so again, I'm just going around. I'm going to tie those into place. Okay, you want to pull them pretty tight because you want them to stay together, and then you bend these up and you keep curving your stems around these circles, so it will go around. Okay, you can always go back and trim things and or add more wire. Okay, that's actually looking pretty good right now. Let's see how that, okay, I just need a little bit more of this kind of thing in here. So here I'm going to just wrap this around. So using the stems itself actually helps form this, and then I'm going to wrap my pipe cleaner around there as well. Okay, and then we have that. So okay, so this is half of the crown, and let's see if we can put these little sparkly things, they fit in there. What do you think? How do you think that is? I think I'm going to leave that till the end. Okay. The other thing that I think would be cute is to put these ribbons in here. And because I already wired these stems, I can just kind of poke this through and wire this. Now if you want, again, like say you wanted the bow to be like the center focus, you could put more of that right in the center. Okay, and also, now because it's going to be sitting on top of a hat, and there is like a little brim to this, you want to make sure that things are not falling down this way, that they're all kind of going upward. And when you, so I've got these ribbon, I'm going to put another ribbon over here. I think for this demonstration, I think I am not going to complete the whole thing because I want you to know that you can do part of it and still have a nice looking crown. Okay, so I'm going to put another little ribbon over here on this end. There we go. Okay, let me turn around so I can see how this looks. Okay, so we have this color here, and then I'm going through, I'm looking at this, I'm bending things different directions. I'll put this ribbon over here, so some of it is down low and some of it is higher. I'm going to bring this little floral thing upward more. Okay, there we go. This white one more over here. And of course, the nice thing about wired ribbon is that it can bend whichever way ever direction you need it to bend. Okay, let's push that guy in a little bit, and this guy like that. Okay, all right. So now let's put it onto our hat and see how we like it. Okay. So this is very flexible. We have all these different colors, and this is. So whether you go all the way around or not, so you've got a decorative tinsel stars over here, so that makes it pretty. And then this is kind of just the front of your decoration. So there we go. Okay, so there is my patriotic flower crown. So you take care, and I will see you on the next one.